Good morning, children. This is Geeta Rani ma'am, your social science teacher. Hope you all are safe and healthy. Let us to begin your syllabus with the first geography lesson, that is resources. Before I could begin this lesson, I would like to ask some simple questions. Name some of the things that you use in your daily life. Of course, being students, your answer will be pens, pencils, chairs, tables, and all. And you are absolutely right too. Okay, can you tell me from where have you bought all these things? Yeah, exactly. That is from shops. Okay, from shops you have bought. But can you tell me how does shopkeepers got all these things? From wholesaler, and wholesaler got all these things from factories, and factories they collected raw materials and produced those raw materials into finished goods, and now you got all those things. Yeah, that's right. So before the factory could produce all these things, it has to collect raw materials and the things that can be used to satisfy a need, to fulfill our need. That thing that is called as resources. And utility or usability means if you use a thing, that utility or you are using make an object a resource, and the need and its use gives it a value. Value in the sense worth. Time and technology. These are the important factors that can change a substance into a resource. In earlier period, the requirements were different, but in present period, in this situation, the requirements of us are different. As the technology has grown, we have changed the things that were used in early period like pens. In early period, as there was no technology, so they used feathers to write down something. But now, due to the improvement of technology, we got pens, pencils, and we are writing very well. Now, let us to go to the second thing, that is types of resources. In resources, we have three types, that is natural resources, human made resources, and human resource. Natural resource, its a title itself shows that a resource which is made by nature itself, that is called as natural resource. Now, the resources that are drawn from the nature and used without much modification are called as natural resources. Like some of the resources we extract, we take from nature, and we use those resources without much modifications, much changes, like air we breathe every time, water we use, soil we use, and minerals. All these things are gift of nature, and we have to use these at any condition, and we are using too. But we are using without much modification, much changes. And this natural resource is categorized into renewable and non-renewable resources. Now, the first one is renewable resources. Renewable resources in the sense the resources that get renewed quickly. Like if we use these resources, then again we can use it the very next moment after first use. it won't get finished, like sunlight, water, wind. These all things we can use these continuously. From lakhs together years our ancestors used, we are using, and in future too the next generation will use it, but it will not get exhausted. So we can call it as renewable resources. Then the next one is non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources in the sense the resources which has a limited stock and takes thousands of years to be renewed. In the sense the resources which has a limited stock, if we use these resources continuously, then it will get over, it will finish, like coal, petroleum, minerals and all these kinds of things. So it is better to reduce the consumption of such kind of resources that will get exhausted early and which takes thousands of years to be renewed again. Distribution of natural resources depends on some particular factors, and those are terrain. Terrain in the sense a piece of ground having specific character, physical character, that is called as terrain. Climate and altitude. Last year you may have studied some of the maps in which you have learnt that some particular minerals are found in some particular places, not everywhere. So these resources, the distribution of these resources will be different in different areas depending upon the quality of ground or the land, climatic condition and the distance from the sea. Now, the next one is human-made resources. If I ask you, name some of the things that are made by human beings, then suddenly you will start answering, ma'am, chair, table, bridges, buildings. Yeah, you are absolutely right. People, they use some natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machines and vehicles. These all are known as human-made resources, in the sense resources which are made by human beings. Those are called as human-made resources. Now, the next point is human resources. Human resources in the sense, here we consider humans itself as resources on the basis of the number in the sense the quantity, and the abilities. The ability may be mental or physical. So on the basis of number and abilities of the people, we can consider them as a human resource. Like abilities, mental ability, like scientists, their main work is thinking and making some experiments. Here they need much mental pressure. As you can see, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was one of the greatest scientists, and even you can name so many persons. Then if it is about physical, sports person you can use like Blade Runner, PT Usha, runners and WWF, wrestlers. They all use their physical strength, and as they use their physical strength, they will bring fame and name of our country. So here human resources in the sense the persons who has skills and abilities are considered as human resources. And improving the quality of a people's skill so that they are able to create more resources is called human resource development. In the sense, we have to give some particular training to these people that they can improve their skills, improve their knowledge, and if they improve their skills or knowledge, then they can create more resources, they can make more investments, they can completely put down their effort in their work, and they could convert into the best. So, for this kind of work, we can call as human resource development. Now children, up to here you have learnt about resources. But do you know that these most useful resources we are spoiling a lot? Yes, we are spoiling a lot by knowingly or by unknowingly. If it is about natural resources, if we go to picnics or tours, we take some plastic bottles and some eatable things. After using that, whatever plastic cover remains, we throw it into the water. Due to continuous use of bikes, we are polluting air. Due to continuous use of fridges and some gaseous equipments, we are spoiling our ozone layer. So here, we are spoiling our environment, our resources which are helpful to us, even for our next generation also. So here, conserving resources, we have to conserve them that they can be used even in future too. To conserve resources, we have to give them time to get renewed, and giving time to conserve resources is called as a resource conservation. If we extract iron ore from the mining, we have to leave extraction of the same iron ore for some years so that it can be renewed. Without giving time, if we extract it continuously, automatically within some of the years it will get over, and for future, for our next generation, there will be no iron ore to use. So it is much better to give them time. And balancing the need to use resources and also conserve them for future is called sustainable development. We have to balance our need. Instead of using much resources, we have to try to lead our life within the resources that we have, that we get, and within limited resources, that is much better. So this is called as sustainable development. And here we can contribute in conserving resources by reducing consumption, recycling, and reusing things. The first thing, reducing consumption. In the sense, we have to use as possible as less. If we start using less, automatically the need will decrease. As the need will decrease, we will start to buy less quantity. As we start to buy less quantity, factories will produce less, and as they will produce less, even they will start extracting less minerals. So it is better to reduce our consumption, use. Then the next one is recycling. Recycling in the sense like plastic, the best example. After using milk packet, we will give it to the persons who will come to take those milk packets, and they will give it to the large persons who do the business of these things, and they will send it to the factory, and in factory they will recycle it. Recycle in the sense they will melt those covers and they will convert that plastic into some other things like saline bottles too. And reusing things. Once again, the best example is plastic cover, because plastic cover I am taking here. Due to the plastic covers, our environment is spoiling a lot and we are losing many of the resources. So plastic cover is the best example. If we use a plastic cover once, it is much better to use the same plastic cover until it could get cut. If we keep on using the plastic cover, same plastic cover, not different one, if we keep on using the same plastic cover continuously, then automatically the plastic waste in the nature will reduce. Of course, some of the times you may bring fruits or things that will be sticky, vegetables. So when you bring vegetables, it may get spoiled. The spoiled tomato or potato, it may leak and it may be sticky. That time you can wash it thoroughly. After washing, it will be again fresh and good to use. So you can use it instead of throwing out. So these are the things where we can use them again and again, and even this helps us in reducing to spoil nature. So this is your first geography lesson, that is resources. If you have any doubts or questions, you can call me and you will get my number soon. Thank you.